Now we are going to talk about whether or not the additional fees are worth it on Royal Caribbean. So, just like all the other cruise lines, Royal Caribbean has some things that are specific to them. I'm going to start again talking about the cell phone. This is for every person that brings a cell phone on. Make sure you get in contact with your carrier to find out about roaming charges, because even if you pay for an internet package, which is per person per day, and it will usually allow you to stream. When you arrive at that port and you get off that ship and you use your phone, you are now roaming. So you're not under the ship's internet once you walk away from it. So get in contact with your phone carrier to find out what those charges are. And as I said in the Carnival video, my suggestion would be to put your phone in airplane mode for the duration of your trip, so you're not tempted to do that. You can still connect to Wi-Fi in airplane mode. That's what I plan to do because I've been hit with the really high inflated bills. So keep that in mind first and foremost, because that can be a bill that will be absolutely astronomical, and you want to avoid that. So that's first. Second, drink package. As I said, just like all the other cruise lines, it's gonna run you just about $100 per person per day for the alcohol. So um, add that up. If you're paying $15 or $20 per drink, how many drinks are you having? Are you drinking a 12 pack per day? The drink package may be worth it for you. If you're not a heavy drinker, that may be something that you don't want to do. So look into that and whether or not that drink package is actually worth it. Again, my suggestion, get into that cabin with the platinum or diamond member and drink for free on them. So for me, the alcohol package is always going to be a no, because that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That is just a no. So unlike Carnival, Royal Caribbean has a regular beverage package, and that beverage package is going to allow you to get all beverages that are non-alcoholic. So it'll allow you to get coffee, virgin drinks, water, soda, things of that nature. You can get all of those. You can get up. They have on some of the newer ships, they actually have Starbucks on there. So you can get your Starbucks in the morning. If it's an actual Starbucks with a Starbucks sign, then you have to pay out of pocket. So it's not included in your beverage package. I remember that. I had to use my Starbucks app and I had to pay for that. But they have other coffee shops on the boat that they make Starbucks like drinks, and you can get those with the drink packages. You can get virgin margaritas, virgin pina coladas, and things of that nature with your beverage package on Royal Caribbean. There is also a soda package on Royal Caribbean, and I have that. I showed it in my video. They have those freestanding Coca-Cola machines throughout the ship. I'm such a geek. I look at that deck plan. I want to see what's on every floor. I know exactly how to navigate that ship and where to go for what I need, but I see where those machines are. So you are actually given a cup when you first get on the ship. So that very first day, you'll get your badge. It'll show whatever your drink package is, and then you go to a specified spot and they give you a cup, a large cup, and it has a chip in the bottom, and then that Coca-Cola machine reads that chip and it gives you your soda. As I said before, you can't put your Stanley cup in that machine because it's not going to work. You have to have that chip. You can't even bring an old cup from an old cruise on there because that chip is going to be expired. I've looked at the bottom of it and it says this chip is good for these these days. So they make sure they deactivate that chip once you get off of that ship. But if you have the soda package, that's how it works. Again, you can also stop at bars and get cans of soda as well with the drink package. I do find it inconvenient to walk around with the cup, but that's how it works. It is convenient, especially in the dining rooms. They do give you water with the soda package on Royal Caribbean as well, which is good. They'll give you bottles of water. So I don't want to tell anybody my secret, but what I do is, like, I'll take a little backpack, and then the first day I'll go on whatever, like, the mall floor is where all of the bars are, and I'll stop at all the bars with my son or whoever I'm with and be like, can I have 2 bottles of water? And then I'll have like 8 bottles of water in my backpack, and then I just go fill up my refrigerator with water, because they'll give you bottles every few minutes. So if you don't want to keep running back getting bottles, that's one way to have cold water in the room already. So that is the soda package. Again, same thing with the portraits. You want to bundle them, buy them all at once. Same principle. Royal Caribbean's is going to be out there with that that life, that little circular life, what is it called, the little life thing, the floaty, I can never think of the obvious stuff, but that little floaty with the ship that you're on, they're going to be standing outside there. They're going to take pictures of you outside the ship. They're going to upload them to the app. You're going to look at them. They're going to be beautiful. You're going to want to buy them. Purchase a package before the cruise, and you just have to pick the ones that you like. If you purchase a package that allows you 5 pictures, you just have to pick the 5 pictures. My advice would be not to take all the pictures, because on my first cruise, I was posing at all of them, and then I had like 30 pictures in the end that I had to choose from, and I couldn't decide. And they'll have a watermark across them if you download them, so you can't take them. So don't even take the pictures. That's my advice. Don't take any pictures beyond what you know that you'll want to pay for, because you can't see what they look like in the app. So if you know you have your fave 5 already in there, then just stop looking cute. Stop stopping for the pictures so you don't go beyond whatever you budgeted for. Again, dining options, do lunch if you can. It's going to be cheaper. It may be $39 to $45 for lunch, $59 and up for dinner, for steakhouses and things of that. It can even go higher than that. It can even be $70 or $100 per person per meal. So you want to budget for those. Works the same way, where you are assigned to the same dining room, same table, same server every night. You report there on time. You get dinner. The dinner does change day to day. Still gets boring to me, so I like my specialty dining. So keep that in mind. Spa, also expensive. So have some money set aside for whatever spa services you might like to have. The spa is wonderful. It's beautiful on every ship that I've been on. And the service is always great. So if you're a spa person, you definitely want to make sure you include the spa packages in your budget. Go online, look at them to see what they're like. Excursions as well. I found there are certain things that I like to do. Other things I'm a little bit less overwhelmed with, because you have to think, depending on the weather or whatever it may be, you may book something and then you don't even want to do it. So I mentioned before that I've done a cooking class before. I did one in St. Kitts on a different cruise line. It sounded great before, and then the day came and it was rainy and we didn't want to go to the port to do it. There was no way to cancel, but we wound up loving it. It was an awesome cooking class. I'm glad we did it. Things like that are always going to be fun. My son and I did a cupcake decorating class on Royal Caribbean. Was really cool. They had the cupcakes out already, and then in front of each station they had fondant in different colors laid out, and then there's a person that says, you know, here's the knife, take the purple fondant, smash it down, do this, stick it to the cupcake this way, and then in the end we had a frog. So very fun activity to do, especially on a sea day. So think of these things when you're talking about the prices or budgeting for the price of the cruise. And then I always bring up the gratuity, which is per person per day. You can put that on the front end and finance it, or put it on a credit card when you're booking the cruise, or you can choose to pay the gratuity at the end. Now at the end of the cruise, I didn't mention this on the Carnival video, but I also, if I have a really good attendant, a really good cabin attendant, I always put extra money in their envelope. I don't want to say how much, because I go overboard with tipping. So I go overboard for really good service, and then I'll put cash in an envelope for that person on top of the gratuity, because they're splitting the gratuity with everyone when you're paying it, or when it's in the cost that you're paying. So whatever's in the envelope is just for your attendance. So it's like sliding that person some extra money that's kind of off the books, and I do that for good service. So keep that in mind. And then of course I always talk about the cruise protection. I get the protection for everything. If I'm going to a concert, I'll get the protection for the concert tickets. Definitely with cruises, because you're paying thousands of dollars, and if for some reason an emergency should arise, you want to be able to get all of your money back. There are additional types of insurance you can buy for your own health, like if you have illnesses, because those are not always covered in other countries, and those charges can be astronomical. So the best way to find out about those is to research them online, or either contact a travel agent to find out about the personal protection insurance in terms of your injury. But the cruise protection, I would advise 100% to get it in the event that something happens and you are not able to go on the cruise. So I think I went over all of the extra charges, or just about. If it's anything I missed, go on the app and look at them. You can just click from one thing to the next and look to see what the cost is, so you'll know how much money you want to bring on the ship with you. And one thing that I forgot to mention is that you need to budget for your meals on the days when you're not at sea. So when you're off at a port, if you're going to want to get off and eat, which I do 100% of the time, everywhere, every country, if I don't do anything else, I'm going to get off and eat. So you need to make sure you budget for wherever you're going to eat. If you eat right there in the area of the port, it's usually going to be a little bit inflated. So you might have to take a taxi a little bit further off to get more reasonably priced food and authentic cuisine. But you can get really good authentic cuisine right there within the designated area of the port. I know the food at the Nassau, Bahamas port for Carnival cruises is delicious. Royal Caribbean, the Nassau, Bahamas is its own island, so it just has like a little station that has Mexican food. So it's like nachos and tacos that you can make for yourself. So that is free. That's included. That's called Coco K. So that's a little bit different than the other ones, but I haven't been on a whole lot of Royal Caribbean ports. But I'm just telling you, just budget for food. And then if you go to Coco Cay and you eat off the ship and you get to save that money, then that's good for you. But those are the extra expenses. You have to determine whether or not they're worth it for you. For me, internet and drink packages are important. So I know ahead of time that those are things that I need to budget for. Buy them in advance, because if you get on the ship and decide to buy them at the last minute, they're going to be really expensive. I hope this helps. Thanks.